It's that time of the week again, my friends, where we do our Friday night meta session here, giving you the latest and greatest across each and every one of the formats, best of one and best of three for Magic the Gathering. Thank you for tuning in. As always, if you enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. On top of that, it's a great way to be updated each week on the meta. Now, with that, if you got a question or comment along the way, do let me know because I'd love to hear from you, and feel free to swing by and join our active, amazing community in our Discord server. All right, so here we go with standard out of the gate here. Now, we do have all the timestamps available to you, so you can check out the right section that makes sense for you. However, we're going to start, as always, as we do, with standard best of one. Now, a couple things have changed. So we don't see Boros Convoke at the very top here today. Mono White has squeaked out and squeaked by. Very, very short, though. We do have that 56% 0.6 over the 0.5. And then we have followed by Convoke, Mono Red Aggro, Selesnya Enchantments, Mono Blue Tempo in there, Azor's Control, Mono Black Aggro, and that Golgari midrange. Now, again, on the right, though, you can see what everyone's playing. Mono White Humans is not the most played list. However, it does have the highest win rate, which is nice to see. And additionally, we are halfway through March already, which is just crazy, and happy Leprechaun's Day and St. Patty's to those of you that celebrate. All right. So as you can see the popularity here, we do see Mono Red still kind of continue to trend very well. We see the Boros Convoke kind of coming down over the past week. We see that Mono White picking back in there, and then everything else kind of going sideways. And then here again, we see that win rate over time. You can actually see Mono White has had that slight adjustment, slight improvement. Definitely and most likely probably because of Mono Red as well. And then you can see this Mono Blue Tempo really picking back up in the space and doing fairly well as well. So that's pretty important. Let's go ahead and take a look at Mythic. Mythic here, we got Boros Humans, Boros Convoke, Selesnya Enchantments, Mono Red Aggro, Mono Blue Tempo, and Mono Black Aggro in there. And then you can see how that's shaping out as well. So again, we like to take a look at Mythic when we get about halfway through, because we definitely have enough information and statistics around it that make it interesting. All right, so now let's go check out best of three. Here in best of three, we do have 5-color domain at the top, followed by Esper midrange, Dimmer midrange, Boros Convoke, Mono Red Aggro, Golgari midrange, Azor's Control, and 4-color domain. Here on the right, pretty close with the top 5 in terms of what's being played. The bottom 3 a little bit separated, and then you can see how things have been going. That Boros Convoke definitely falling up. We deuce off. We see Golgari midrange picking up. We see 5-color domain picking up, and everything else in there. And then here again, very tight between Esper midrange, 5-color domain, and Dimmer. And then you can see everything else. Boros Convoke kind of really just trending sideways, at least for the time being. Let's go ahead and check out best or Mythic. Esper midrange at the top there, Dimmer, Golgari, all midrange, Source Control, Mono Red Aggro, and 4-color domain. We don't see that Boros Convoke in there, which is interesting as well. Let's see if we got it down here. Nope, yeah, it's in there. So just not enough actually in best of three in terms of what's being played, which is interesting for us as well. All right, so that's standard. Let's go ahead and check out Explorer. Here in Explorer, we do have Boros Convoke at the top. We have Abs Animalia, Boros Heroic, Azor's Control, Mono Red Aggro, Selesnya Angels, Rakdos Vampires, Izzet Phoenix. Here on the right, fairly tight between the top 3 and then kind of the bottom 6 or 5. And then here you see that Rakdos Vampires falling off. We do see Izzet Phoenix coming up and Abs Animalia coming up. And then here, Abs Animalia still doing fairly well on the wins. Boros Convoke also coming back up, and Heroic also coming back up. Pretty nifty in terms of what's happening there with the current meta. All right, so let's see what we have in Mythic here. Mythic here, nothing. Not enough of you playing Best of 1 Explorer. All right, let's see what we got going on in Best of 3. Best of 3, we got Rakdos Vampires, Abs Animalia, Boros Convoke, Mono Green Devotion, Izzet Phoenix, Azor's Control, Mono Black Waste Knot, and Dimmer Control here on the right. Many of you on that Rakdos Vampires. And there again, you see that. On the upside, again, Izzet Phoenix and Azor's Control. And then here you can see Amalia Vampires very close as things kind of continue to move around there and what's happening. All right, let's see what we got in Mythic. Rakdos Vampires and Izzet Phoenix there. being the two key ones that everyone is playing in Explorer Best of 3. All right, so pulling all the way back, it's time to see what's going on in Alchemy, because we did have that latest and greatest release and update there. Here's what we do have going on for today. Naya Convoke, Esper Control, Boros Convoke, 4-color midrange, Esper Control, everything else. And then here you can see what's going on in terms of that popularity. Similar. And then again, this is actually best of 3. So let's go ahead and check out Mythic. All right, nothing there. All right, let's go over to Best of 1 Alchemy. Here's what's going on in Best of 1 Alchemy, the one that you guys really want to see, guys and gals. Here we go. Golgari Roots, Esper Control, Mono Red Aggro, Gruul Burn, Orzhov Midrange, Azorius Soldiers, Gruul Dinosaurs, and Mono Black Midrange. Here on the right, Mono Red Aggro, lots of players on that still. Gruul Burn, Golgari Roots, being the next kind of top 2 behind that one. And then here you go. You can see how everything's looking and shaking out. Golgari Roots doing very well, and then kind of coming down here. Great start, but again, still finishing strong by being in first right now anyway, in terms of those win rates. Let's go ahead and see what's happening in Mythic here. Mythic, not enough of you playing Alchemy Best of 1. All right, so that concludes Standard, Explorer, Alchemy. It is time for Historic. So with Historic, we have Dimmer Ninjas at the top. Good spread for that. Is it Wizards? Same thing relative to everything else. And we got Mono Red Aggro, Mono Green Devotion, Celestial Angels, Azorius Control, Mono Green Elves, Mono Black Midrange here on the right. Is it Wizards, followed by everything else. Popularity over time. Again, a little bit of a spike there with Alchemy being released. And then you can see what else is happening there. And then again, Dimmer Ninja's kind of doing this U-curve. Back at it and looking good. Similar Mono Red, and also Is it Wizards kind of doing that? Actually, quite a few lists. That's Best of 1. Let's take a look at Mythic. Here we got Dimmer Ninjas at 77%, looking real good. All right, there we go. Let's see what we got going on. Best of 3. Best of 3. Is it Wizards? Mono Green Devotion, my friends. Should we see if there's anything different here in Mythic? And nada. All right. So that concludes Historic time for our Timeless time and Timeless. All right. Let's go. 5-color Domain, Rakdos Burn, Grixis Shadow, Mono Black Vampires, 4-color Show and Tell, 5-color Winata, Mono Green Titan, Jund Midrange. Here on the right, top 3, and then the rest. All right, so we did, like we said, had that release of Alchemy. We see a big jump here in 4-color Show and Tell. A little bit more of these ones here as well. The other 3 kind of back down in the pack. 4, actually, we do have that Mono Black Vampires in there. And then here you can see how we're doing in that win rate. That win rate's looking real nice for 5-color Domain. Rakdos Burn not doing too bad as well, but it's kind of close here. But really, that 5-color Domain is looking much better than the rest. All right, let's see what's happening in Mythic, though. In Mythic, just not enough players playing Mythic. Best of 1. Let's try Best of 3. Best of 3. 5-color Domain, Jund Midrange, 4-color Yawgmoth, Grixis Shadow, Rakdos Burn, 5-color Winata, Mono Green Titan, 4-color Show and Tell. On the right, it's really the top 3 kind of separating themselves out. Here you can see that a little bit better as well. Very close there between that 5-color and Jund. And then as we see here, big pickup though for 5-color Domain. Jund doing pretty good. 4-color Yawgmoth in there as well. So lots of things kind of trending in that space. Let's go ahead and see what's going on at Mythic here, and nothing for Best of 3 Mythic. All right, so that concludes Standard, Explorer, Alchemy, Historic, Timeless for both our Best of 1 and Best of 3. It's time for us to take a peek at Historic Brawl, my friends. Here in Brawl, we do have Mythweaver, Pog at the top. Then we got Voja, Rusko, Itali, Narset, Golos in there, Emoti, and Atraxa. Here on the right, you can see the breakdown of popularity. Again, Karlov making some changes into what's happening with the meta. Here you can see those win rates. Ragavan was doing very well. And then we had Tajik popping ahead. And then there's our Mythweaver Pog. Ragavan's still being played and has a great win rate. Tajik has a great win rate. They're just not in the top popular lists. which is why you still see that, and it's good to see and understand what's happening in Historic Brawl. All right, so that, my friends, is everything at its finest here for this week. We had, again, like I said, our second week of Alchemy, making some impacts and changes. We're about halfway through the month. Things kind of starting to move around and get into place as we get locked and loaded here to close out the month, the last 2 weeks. With that, again, wish everyone a happy St. Pat's or happy Leprechaun's Day, we like to say, if you celebrate. And with that, thank you for tuning in this week and today. I appreciate your support. Thank you for the likes and the subs as we continue to grow this amazing community. On top of that, if you still got a question or comment, let me know. Feel free to join us in the Discord server as well. And thank you again for your time. And thank you to all of our members. We do have memberships available to you. It's a nice way to support the channel, along with our affiliate links. You can check those out. Something for everyone. If you're looking for cards, those kinds of things, those are available to you. With that, we got our socials. At me, chat me, as we like to say. Stay connected, my friends. I like to see your polls. I like to see what you're playing. I like to play your list. So with that, we'll see you again soon. Until next time, my friends, keep that magic real. Take care.